so today we're going to talk about some mindset. I want to review a little bit. Part of growth as a leader is looking for the one thing, right? Looking for the one idea. How many of you actually slept well last night? Some of you slept well. Some of you didn't sleep well. How come you didn't sleep well? Bad hotel?
No, it's actually my bed, and I should have slept well, but I probably got about 2 or 3 hours sleep. My mind just wouldn't stop.
Okay. So what were you thinking about?
Oh, you name it, I got it. So, don't be a salesperson. Don't do this.
Okay. All right. So a lot of action points, right? A lot of things you can do. Anyone else want to share? What's one specific thing you can do immediately? The easiest one. So there's a lot of things. Don't be a salesperson. What's one is the easiest thing you can do?
Scheduling, routine,
setting a set routine. That is like, even if you don't have any skills, the skill level doesn't improve. You don't do anything else. But if you have a set routine, instantly your business will get better. Because you're actually going to be putting more consistent effort into the business. Okay? Good. Anyone else? Yeah. And say your name too. So some of you, I got your names.
Peter.
Peter.
Controlling the conversation. Okay, that fascinating.
Okay, good. Controlling the conversation, right? Learning to ask questions. Anything else?
They need me more than I need them.
Yeah, that's the big.
Reframing for me.
They need you, but you don't need them. And so this morning we're going to talk a lot about the mindset. And in the afternoon, we're going to go over and talk about some of the leadership things, about who to work with and things like that. Okay? Yeah.
We also going to cover some social media marketing stuff like that.
Yeah. We're going to talk about social media. By the way, some of you got an email shared by the mistakes and why the business, okay, MLM is a lot easier. Every one of you, by accident, should have gotten the social media website blueprint. Okay, if you actually register for any of the events here, it was supposed to be. How many of you got an email like that? You can get a bonus. A couple of you, 3 of you. None of you do. Okay, so I'm just giving to you something. I'll give you a $37 course for free. Okay, it was actually supposed. The email was supposed to be sent. Part of it, just be honest. Okay, I'm honest. Like 37. It was only supposed to be sent to people who did not register yet. A lot of you who had registered early, it was like a bonus to get people to come. But accidentally, my staff accidentally sent it to everyone. So since everyone got it, you guys will all get it. Okay? So if you don't get you don't have it, email my assistant, Kara at Simon W. Chan. Actually, CC me. Just email me, Simon at Simon W. Chan. I'll have my assistant email you the link. So it's a free $37 course about social media and website, how you should get things set up. So part of running a traditional business is dealing with staff and training staff, and that's when you send the emails to the wrong people, it's a big headache. Let's see. See, you know why it's annoying when people are talking in the back, right? It's a little late. It's annoying. It really drives me nuts. But so what we're talking about?
Social media.
Social media. So every one of you get a freebie, okay?
So what is it, Simon? You were speaking a little fast.
Okay.
The training.
The training is how to set up, if you have a website and social media, how to strategically link them together. Like your social media profile with your, what type of post with your website. Okay, having a good strategy that works. So it was a course that I actually sell, and to get people to register, I offer as incentives for people who hadn't registered yet. But accidentally, that email was sent to everyone. So some of you probably went to your junk, spam, but since I'm giving out to everyone, I might as well give it to you all. All right?
Thank you.
So I don't want to spend as much time talking about social media because a lot of it's covered there. Okay? And your name is Loretta?
Meredith.
Meredith, okay. So let's go on. Let's move on. Some of the things, what's the main roadblock to your success?
Procrastination.
Procrastination, right? Who's the person that holds you back? Yourself, right? It's getting yourself. So it's getting yourself out of your own way. That's a lot of what we're going to talk about today. Like I said, I share done over 10,000 meetings. I'll share a little bit of background about this whole why I do what I do. And this is a big, important step. It's going to be a theme that talk about a mindset. Is you have probably an idea or goals of how you want to become successful. But generally, what ends up being the success is really what you started out with. Okay, and so you have a vision, But every time you go on that journey, you're going to take this forks in the road. And you take the fork here, take it there, and normally where you end up is never what you originally planned. So a lot of people who think, like to analyze, think about, don't waste your time too much about thinking, analyzing, because it's never going to end up like that. And I'll give you a couple examples. Like I actually never thought I'd be doing coaching, MLM training, coaching. How it actually happened was one of my weaknesses, like, this is being a giver is good, but some weaknesses too. I give a lot. So people will email me as you get more high profile, be a diamond star. I mean, people on Facebook, especially, this is before I knew about, I wasn't as good as time management. People would email me about questions and I would help them. Or I'll feel guilty if I didn't help them. So I email them, message them back, help them. And it got to a certain point where it was taking too much of my time. My business partner got frustrated. And my wife got frustrated. How come you're always doing work? These people don't even make you any money. Why you do that? So I got to the point where I had to basically start charging people, right? Just simply, I don't think anyone's going to pay. Just like $250 an hour. That's what I believe I'm worth. Just to really get rid of them. So they don't. And what happened was people actually paid a couple of people. I was surprised people actually paid me. So I did the $250 an hour thing. And I didn't feel comfortable. It was maybe 3 or 4 people. I didn't feel comfortable taking the money. Because you really can't make an impact on someone of a 1-hour phone call, right? You can't give them everything. It's more about the consistent. So that's how I said, what happens if I did instead of $250 an hour, do like a weekly thing, accountability. So that's how like my coaching program started. It started with like 2 mastermind programs, which is like a diamond mastermind for people like Annette, Myrna, and Karen Amy is there. For like basically solid earning silvers to all the way to diamonds. So we're like Nancy Ong, Christina Chang, they're on there. That started, and then we have a lower 5-star mastermind for other distributors. And then what happened was things never turn out the way you expect. Okay, so the 5-star became really popular, where people access me a lot. So then we started Insider Circle and realized that getting a newsletter in front of someone is very important. Not just for retention, but also for motivation. And not an email newsletter, because no one reads newsletters, very rarely, but physical newsletter. So that's how that started. But someone actually asked me before about my 5-star mastermind. You've probably seen the website. There's only the diamond mastermind. There's like an application process. Right now, I'm not really taking any new people, because we have about 20. It's a lot of fun. But the 5-star mastermind actually is going to be kind of dissolved. Okay, and the Insider Circle, again, I'm not here to pressure yourself because someone asked me that question. Because on my website, there's 3 levels. The Insider Circle is like 27, and the 5-star, they're going to be merged and become $97 a month, starting sometime in May. Okay, so whatever you're doing, the 395, 27, that's whoever's grandfathered in gets grandfathered in. But starting in May 1st, I've actually had a lot of people from other companies who want to hire me to speak to their groups. Do other team trainings. Even Insider Circle, there's people from other companies in there now. So that's why it's evolved to that. I never expected it. Okay? But if you actually do Insider Circle, you'll be grandfathered in $27 for forever. But sooner or later, my website, everything's going to change. Part of being success is learning to let, especially leaders, learn to let things go. Realizing that something that's 70% done well is still better than 100% not done. And I've made tremendous, a lot of those things I'm going to share today, but the mindset, and even right now the stories I'm sharing with you is from stuff I learned from books, but more importantly, lots of painful lessons I've made. Yeah, even the past year. So when we started this coaching training thing, I actually found out I enjoyed it. I always enjoyed teaching and mentoring. But it's way harder than network marketing. Okay, because there's a lot of little things, like me speaking, doing the trainings, the content. That's fun. That's easy to do. The other stuff is like training your staff, making sure they send out the right email, making sure they don't send an email, give a free product to everyone they're not supposed to. Managing them, make sure that doesn't happen again, the systems. See, when you sign up a customer, that payment, all that stuff, that's not. The company takes care of everything, right? Here, like we have a PayPal, we have those simple things. Someone's got to manually enter those stuff, right? It's not fun work. So that's why network marketing is a great starting point. It really teaches you. If I didn't have that background, That's why I'm very grateful for the business. Business. If it wasn't for network marketing, I was probably be stuck in the cubicle. And network marketing actually really, if you really want to be successful, you can learn, read books. No one's really stopping you what you want to learn. And that's the cool part of the business. But I made tremendous mistakes. That's another thing about traditional business, learning about scalability. You guys familiar with the term scalable? Making it bigger. Like by training business, I never expected to be so popular so quickly. And then you have to deal with customer service and things like that. Systems, technical systems breaking down. Like the thing, your invoices were not generated. Things like that were breaking down. We did stuff like the website quick start package that great intentions, but technical issues came up. So lots and lots of mistakes. So it was way, way harder. But network marketing was like, the good thing about network marketing, teach your mindset. It's really about the only thing that's stopping you is yourself. And it's being humble and coachable, that the way you think right now, everything that, it's kind of ironic. You got to be before you become. Okay? You got to be that person before you become successful. But at the same time, whatever you know now, you have no clue how to become successful, right? Because, so some people say, oh, I know, if I keep doing this, you have to constantly change. But actually, if you know it, you'll be, if you just, for example, you want to be a diamond ready, you'll be a diamond ready, right? But the fact that you don't. And that's why we have to constantly be open to new ideas. Like let go of the old in order to get the new. So a good example, letting go of the old, is just like, I used to was very concerned about my image, my website, how it looked. I liked the way it sort of looked. Some of it probably didn't even make sense, but I just liked it the way it looked because I spent a lot of time on it. So it became an emotional thing. You have to let go of emotion, and just be open ideas. So actually, my website's probably going to change within the next month or so. I have no idea how it's going to look like, and part of it is having faith but trust in my business partner that he's going to take care of things. So how many of you actually know Scott? Some of you know, right? How he and I connected. He was like a silver director in my downline. He's actually, by the way, you want to know who, Helen, you asked the question, who you want to work with as a leader? My leader, John, okay, when I talk about John, he's a guy who was like happy hour 6 nights a week, right? He reached a point in his life where he's tired of the partying and he's going to make a change. And I never expected him to be good. I just expect him to just sign up his party, drinking buddies, and that's it. Turns out he couldn't even sign any of his drinking buddies because they're all O's, O prospects, where they don't trust him. They see him drunk, they don't know why you're talking about business, never listened to him, never signed up. Now, 5 years later, they all actually signed up as customers, okay, but they never still joined the business. It's like the respect level. But he got on board. He actually went to his first convention. That's why convention is so important. He signed up one person in his first 6 months, okay, 1 BC. And always the products were too expensive. And I'll share that story later, okay? So someone remind me to share about this convention story, right? Someone remind me. But just fast forward, a couple years later, we did some marketing, found this guy, Scott. And we did some Robert Allen stuff. Scott, I heard of Robert Allen from real estate. And so we talked about Robert Allen wrote in his book, Multiple Streams of Income, why network marketing was good. So he said, have you ever read that book? So and Scott's a guy, here's a person who's successful normally. They don't overthink, but they take action. And once they take action, they don't change the decisions. Right? Most unsuccessful people, they take forever to make a decision, and once they make a decision, they change it very quickly. Successful people make a quick decision, but they never change the decision. They figure out how to make it. So Scott was very easy to sign up. Okay, we just go read. You know prospects like that take forever to sign up? You know people like that? Are they ever good? They're normally not that good. Okay. Now there are some that are good, but generally they're not that good. The ones who are good in anything, they make quick decisions, but once they make a decision, they don't change. They stay focused and say, we're going to make it. Those are some people you look for in the downline. So Scott was very easy to join. He's talking about, you should read Multiple Streams of Income, because Robert Allen talks in his chapter 10, talks about network marketing. So the next day we're supposed to, actually this is talking about teamwork. What we did was always 3-way calls. Find someone that build commonality, something in common, right? So Scott was I think 20 at that time, 21, 20. And I knew a cross line. That's again, working cross line is important. Providing value. I helped out this kid all the time, this kid Chris. He was like 22, 23. So I texted him, like, Chris, can you do me a favor, do a quick 5-10 minute three-way with this kid? And he's around your age, maybe you can inspire him. But he was like a silver director. Maybe you can inspire him to get started. So he did the three-way call, and we signed up Scott, right? So the next day, there were multiple streams of income. When we did the follow-up call, after the three-way, he was like, did you, so you know Robert Allen, did you ever get a chance to look him up? He was like, yeah, I read the book already. So the night before, he didn't read the book. He ended up going to talk about taking action. He went to the bookstore, Barnes & Noble's. He didn't have any money, had no money, but he went to Barnes & Noble's, sat there for 5 hours and read the book. Okay? That is when you look for, someone is good in your downline. Not people that, I got to go to school, I got to do this, those are excuses. People who are really serious. And there are people out there like this. Okay? Like, we're here. I came over from America to come here. You guys all got a lot of value, but only a certain amount of people here. A lot of people that last night are not here. Why? Don't try to figure out why. Jim Rohn says, don't take that course. Right? You just work for the people who are there. And so those are when you're building your team, that's what you're looking for. So with Scott, basically, we were working. So he was in one of my reentries, right? I was strongly in my reentries, and talk about sacrifice. Oh, here's the good thing about sacrifice, right? He who would work as a waiter. He was a college, university student, and work as a waiter. And during the breaks, he would read books. Always read books. So all his other waiters thought he was weird, and it was antisocial. Didn't like him because when during the quiet hours, other people would talk by TV, whatever. He would just sit in the corner and read books. Because actually, his manager didn't even like it. But he didn't care about the manager. He would just read books anyway. One time he had a follow-up call, got a customer, right? Talk on the phone. He would just go to the bathroom. This is a funny story. He went to the toilet and was there for 30 minutes and just making a call. When he came out, his boss got really angry at him. And he came up with some excuse, because the customers are complaining. Where's my waiter? But you know what? In the business, you got to go all out. Okay? You have to ask yourself. I'm not necessarily telling you to cheat your boss, employer, but is your job going to give you the future? It's going to give you the future you want. You got to decide, is this business going to give you the future or your job? And if you're not clear about that, then you got to be clear why if you're not 100% sure, you really got to think about why you're in this business, why you're here in the first place. But if you're clear, you could only go all in. Like we talked about, you can't stand on, you can't put a foot on two boats, okay? Or you can't put a foot on two stools. You can only go 100% in on one thing. So that's actually, he signed up a customer. Later on, I realized he was really hungry, and I had leads, I had money, I did marketing, but he signed up as Walmart. Now, I never give leads to anyone if they can't at least sign up at Walmart, sign up 4 people in 8 weeks. Okay, I never do that. If you can't get your Walmart in, or people, basically you have no influence. Okay, sign up your mom, your dad, your brother. Buy their package if you need to. Just use your whatever. Here, you don't even need a social security number, right? Sign up anyone. You can sign up anyone off the street. Your dog, your cat. But you got to sign up 4 people. If you can't even do that, you have no influence. It's very difficult, right? Now, even if you have to pay for it, like I just had someone that became a platinum. I think she had to buy one of the packages, use her dad's name, but she sold the product, selling the product. But if someone's not willing to make that commitment, they don't really see the long-term value of the business. That's a very good test. If you can if someone can bring in 4 people in 8 weeks, and if you can't, I always tell them, go buy the products, go invest in the products, and sell it. People say, I can't sell the products. That's the wrong mindset already. Then you learn. You learn to sell the products, right? So that's how Scott. So then he was hungry. He sponsored. He signed up 4 or 5 people. Then I just started giving him leads. And he would work for me. He did a lot of admin work for me. So thanks, Amy. So we did administrative work like sorting out my leads, helping me set up webinar, team calls, sending out emails to put my team calls. All the administrative work I don't want to do, he did it in exchange, right? So, but that helped him. So he still did that, got leads, built his business. Then got to the point where I saw he was really talented, but he still wasn't earning enough in the business. 100, 200 a week, you can't live full time. So I paid him a salary to help me out. So very low salaries, like $400 a week, something like that, okay, to help me. By the way, I didn't realize it, but that's not compliant later on. Technically, you can't even give leads to your downline to help you. It's a very gray area, okay? You can't be compensating your downline in some way. But I didn't know that. So anyway, we worked out, and then we did, had some success. We did a lot of doctors. So one time, success is all about giving value, providing value, having that desire, providing value. And so if you want to learn from someone, one of the easiest ways to find out how you can help them and provide value. How I got connected with my MBA player, Wang, like even though I didn't know anything about business, I just knew, my parents told me hard work. They didn't teach me how to work smart, but they told me hard work. But it's to help people. How I got connected, that was my break, because get out the MBA meeting, the player, was when he was the first Chinese player to come to the NBA. And when he came there, I used to go to Dallas a lot. It was really cool for me because I'm a huge basketball fan. But I went there, and I worked in TV programming. We recorded the game, and then right after he played the game, while other colleagues were going back home, they would go to their bar to relax, get ready for the next day. I remember I recorded the game, had to wait for the truck, those production trucks, to get the full game, get a copy of the game, dub. Okay, this is way before digital. So you actually had the beta tapes, the dubbed it. Then I had to get it converted to PAL, because US used NTSC, Australia uses PAL. Then I had to get it converted to VHS PAL, right? Then rushing to FedEx and get it out sent at 4 o'clock in the morning to get it out there. And whatever, and no one noticed, right? While my colleagues are sleeping, whatever they're doing. The next day, the next day, actually, I had to go out with this Beijing reporter, actually an announcer. If you're a basketball fan, he's a journalist, you may know his name, Su Chu. He writes a lot of basketball. I don't really want to hang out with this guy, but you always do one more than what you're supposed to. Always give like extra credit. So I met with this guy, whatever, I'm not even into it, but we met. And that's it, right? 3-4 weeks later, I go to Dallas again. And we go out there, and so I meet Wang, and he kind of remembers. I was like the only first Asian guy, a Chinese guy working at the NBA at the time, could speak Chinese. And he said, oh, thank you so much for the tapes. My parents got them. That's the first thing he said to me, right? So I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. All that work I did, staying up to 4 in the morning, FedExing the tapes, worked out, right? So his parents got the tapes, very proud to see his son. And then that night later, after the game, I said, hey, you know what are you doing? I'll take you out to dinner. Let's go get a drink, go out to dinner, kind of socialize. But these players, they don't want to hang out with random people. So the reporter, he's actually close, because they're both from Beijing. The Beijing people, and they speak Chinese, they're close. They all knew each other back in China, did the basketball stuff. So I said, what are you doing? And he said, oh, we're going to come and just play cards. And it's like, we need some extra guy. Well, we don't have enough people. And then the reporter, Su Qing, was like, what about Simon? And Wang was like, Simon, is he all right? And Su Qing said, yeah, he's okay, you can trust him, right? Because I gave him the tapes too. And I hung out with him. And Wang said, all right, Simon, you're going to come with us. And that was the beginning. That's how I became good friends with him, became a sports agent afterwards. It's always giving one thing. Doing the thing that most people won't do. Giving the extra effort, providing value, helping out. So how did that apply to Scott? I remember I had a rental apartment in New Jersey. And these are the success habits I'm sharing. What you have to do to be successful. If you're a giver, there's plenty to share. And I had an apartment in New Jersey, because I used it from New York. I rented it out. By the way, I had a property manager, all that, but I realized I never wanted to do real estate. Okay, that's not I'm not saying it's a great way to invest money, but it's just not what I wanted to do. I made tons of mistakes. I just realized I never want to do real estate again. It's just not my cup of tea. So I go there, and Scott, when I moved into my new house, was saying, oh, Simon, your house, you could use some renovation. I'll be more than happy to do it. I was like, okay, first of all, just because he reads a Robert Allen book in one day doesn't mean he can renovate a house, right? So I was like,
what year was this?
08. So I moved into the house I showed him in September 08, right? So you all volunteered. So in 09, actually 09, I had a tenant moved out. I'm going to sell the place. I don't want to deal with this place. This is in New Jersey. It's like in Perth and Brisbane, opposite sides. So I said, all right, I'm going to sell it. So I said, I need to renovate it. So then I was like, Scott, hey, would you actually want to come to New York? He's never been to New York. I said, sure. You want to, you say, I'll take your offer. You say you're going to help renovate. Then I could spend time. We can meet some prospects. I'll take you some meetings. And he also saw the value of spending time with someone who's successful. So he goes to New Jersey, and we fix up the place. By the way, things always take a lot longer. 1 week ends up being 3 weeks. Okay, 1 week, I start painting. I realized we had what was it? 5 meters. It was a loft, 5 meters of painting. My back was hurting. I was dripping paint on my hair. So never ever I'm doing manual labor. Okay, never do renovation. I don't care how much it costs. I'm paying someone to do it. So we did that, and then he provided value. It was, of course, it took longer than expected. I actually had to clean. My dad had come to clean because it's right before Christmas. He left on Christmas Eve, right? So I couldn't make him renovate on Christmas Day. So he flew back on early morning Christmas Eve to be with his family. So I did the cleaning and stuff. My dad came. My dad said, hey, this guy actually did pretty good work. Now, I can't tell what's good work or bad work. Well, my dad's really handy, right? So he does pretty good work. So 3 months later, I said, Scott, do you want to come renovate my house? And you can stay for 1 month. And then we do meetings together. And so he saw a lot of value listening to me prospect. So he came. And of course, that 1 month became like a 4-month thing, almost, right? That I learned a lesson. If I buy another house, it would be a brand new house. Never do any renovation. Poor Obi gained 2 pounds, right? Because Obi was stuck in this whole little room the whole time. Because there's nails everywhere, dust. So he was always in this one room, right? But it took 4 months. He learned a lot. He saw high prospect. He saw the success habits every day, reading, learning. He got a lot of it. And then we had a group of doctors. We sent him a group of doctors in South Carolina. And now I'm not a big fan of marketing to doctors, getting doctors on board. But we did have a group of 10, 12 doctors. Some of them still get customers. So Scott was he was actually very good at prospecting by now. I said, what do you need to work on? So you need to work on your marketing. You just can't rely on me trying to get your leads. You got to do. I got other legs to support. I just can't be working with, helping you. So he really started focusing on marketing. But he went to South Carolina, worked with these doctors. Driving from South Carolina to Texas is about a 20-hour drive. One time he came out there, and he wasn't earning that much in the business, $100, $200 a week. So he, 20-hour drive, what do? You listen to audios. So he saw this internet marketing course that he spent. It was $1,000. So I don't know if I have money in the bank, right? But Simon says you got to learn marketing, and what I'm going to do on a 20-hour drive. So he goes out there hoping there's enough money. It's like a debit card, and he swipes the card, and it turns out it went through, right? So it's good. But what he didn't realize is that when his car ran out of petrol, because he paid the internet course, there was no money in the bank. It was actually overdrawn. So he had to sleep overnight at the petrol station for one night, until his mom deposited the cash in his bank account and he should pay petrol to drive back. But if he didn't do that, one of the reasons I partnered with him was because he actually, if you think I know a lot about marketing, he actually knows even more than I do, especially the online stuff, what's going on, funnels, tripwires, lead magnets. So I saw a lot of value. It got to the point where it made sense for us to partner up. We saw a lot of top distributors. They always have a business partner or a chauffeur or something, right? A business partner to work together if you want to get to the top. So we had a lot of trust. My wife trusted him because he lived with us for 4 months. So he became my co-applicant in 2011. Okay, I can't believe it's in 3 years. So, and then with the whole thing I shared yesterday, the whole Robert Allen thing, where I got a whole apartment just for Robert Allen, and 2 months later he ditches us. Which, by the way, at that time was so painful, stressful, but turns out one of the best things that happened. The best things that happen. Everything that's bad, good. That's the whole lesson we want to talk about. Mindset is all good. All news is good news. Aside from some terminal disease or cancer, all news is good news because it's during the worst points that you grow the most. The opportunities come up. So anyway, we become co-applicant. So now I'm on business with Usana. I'm like the CEO. We both get salaries. If you're actually interested, because some people ask me this, we both get a salary and then do a profit sharing from the profits. Okay, so we get a very low salary and there's a revenue split. Our training company, which is second business now, he is the CEO. He runs it, and I basically do the fun stuff, I guess. Well, not really fun. Most of the fun stuff. This is really fun, talking, training. Even though it's tiring, it's fun for me. I have 2 kids now. Running a company is really difficult. Really challenging. It's totally outside my comfort zone, doing things. And there are lots of mistakes. But the only thing that really holds you back is up here. And I think anything I've learned in the past year, I probably made more mistakes in the past year than I did in my previous 10 years. It's really learning to change your mindset, changing your habits, and not letting emotions get in the way. You know, a lot of times when bad things happen, it could be a prospect reject, or someone downline quits, someone cancels their order. At the moment, it seems really bad. But if you wait for a couple weeks, month, it's really irrelevant. You know, the overall big picture is a very, very small thing. And you don't let those small things bother you. Most people let the small things become big things. Okay. So I just want to share with you, is that interesting? I just want to share because a lot of people ask me that question. Okay. So because I do training, it's also, I make it generic. Generic, I refrain from using company names, products, but if you talk about, I basically know what you're talking about. So I'm going to share a couple tools. Someone asked me for webinars, I use GoTo Meeting. Okay, GoTo Meeting, I like it, webcam option. There may be cheaper options, but this is what most people use. Or most of the online marketers, internet marketers, they use GoTo Meeting. I just do what top people do. Okay, I know this is a new thing that just recently came out, but GoTo Meeting is still what most people use. It's on an iPad, you can get it on an iPhone, it's convenient. A Skype Recorder is something, a very useful tool. I can show you during the afternoon where you can, it's like $20, $30, right? And by the way, I'm a big Apple person for simply the fact that it makes you more money. Why does Apple make you more money? Because it doesn't crash. So every time I used to have a Dell, speaking of Dell, I grew up with Apple, right? Or Apple, because I always thought the IBMs was like evil empire. Apple was cool. I grew up with Apple IIc, a 2GS, a Mac in college. But once I went to work for the MBA for corporate, I started using Windows. By the way, the only Windows operating system I still know how to use is XP. I don't know how to use Vista, whatever. I don't know what's. And I just heard that recently they just stopped supporting Windows XP, like 2 weeks ago. But and it's been around for like 14 years. That tells you how bad Windows is. People still use a 14-year operating system. Okay, but the computers used to crash all the time and have to reformat. And when you reformat, can you do any work for 3 hours, 4 hours? So it's time cost, right? I need to be on a computer to prospect. Look at my leads. I store my contacts in there. Huge time cost, throwing money out the window. But by the way, all like most people who are small business owners, if they go to internet marketing conferences, they all use Macs. Okay. Another thing, this is talk about online marketing, targeting. You want to be specific. Anyone use Expedia? Expedia website?
Yeah.
Okay. So part of success we're going to talk about is, and this is not even a joke, this is actually funny, this is actually serious about programming. If you want to be successful, wealthy, you got to think like wealthy people do. You got to be before you become. Okay, that's the whole thing we're going to talk about today. And Expedia, if you go in there, you book hotels, car prices, air flights. If you use a Mac, you get quoted, they'll give you a higher price than if you use a Windows machine. Okay? They actually they can tell whether you're using a Mac OS. So if a hotel was $149, but if you log in using a Mac, it would be maybe $169. They charge a premium because Mac users are wealthier. It is true. They actually don't market. These people, they don't do this stuff just for fun. They have research to back it up that it works. Okay. So that's actually online. That actually is coming. That's going to happen more and more because they know everything about you. Google knows everything about you. Facebook knows everything about you. Okay. So they can custom. That's why Facebook's so powerful because when you target, you can do customized targeted advertising. So anyway, Skype Recorder is something it's a software on the Mac, but you can use it. I'm sure there's a Windows version. When you any Skype call, it automatically records it. Okay, so every Skype call I do is automatically recorded. They're great for training. If you train your downline, you can automatically send them the link. You can put your recordings all in a Dropbox folder and just send them the link automatically. So every Skype call you ever call me is automatically recorded. Okay, that's very, very useful. Inside the mind of a top income earner. And we are going to go until about 10:30, 10:40, and we'll take a break. Right? But it's going to be some intense stuff here. We're talking about who's your main roadblock to success is you. Right? And you must be before you become. You must be that person before you become. You must be that diamond. If you want to be a diamond, you must be the diamond before you become. When I was the Go director, I knew I was going to be a diamond already. Okay, I saw it in my mind. Actually, when I go work out, I would have my awards acceptance speech, who I was going to thank my leaders. It was all in my mind already. Even before, how many of you actually knew at a convention a couple of years ago when I won presidents, right? That speech was done like 7-8 months ago. I was prepared already. Even before I won, I saw myself. Once I realized I had a chance to do it, I realized all the people I had to thank. I feel like I had to thank them because I wouldn't be there without them. So visualize it. You got to see. Now, if you feel that, sometimes people say, I was talking to someone, say, what's your rank? I'm only an achiever. Why do you say you're only an achiever? Right? Is someone going to be impressed to join you if you're only an achiever? Because people only buy, people, because they know you, they like you, trust you. And the 3 doubts are, is this for real? Or can I do it? And will you help me? If you're only an achiever, it doesn't sound very convincing that you can help them. Now, so why does it come out that way? What's inside of here that's preventing you from being more confident? So we're going to go over these things. So your thoughts, right, leads to your actions. Your actions lead to your results. Okay? Your thoughts lead to your actions. So how many have actually done something where you regret it? Right? You regret it because you did an action, but where did the action come from? Your thoughts, up here. So we have to change here before the mindset's the most important thing. So here's another good example. So you're going to write this down. This is a good formula. It's your results. Your results equals an event plus reaction. Okay, you all got that? A result equals event plus reaction. So I'll give you an example. My son, my wife is not watching, spills the whole shake on the floor, all over the floor. That's an event. Okay? Can I take that back? It happened. My reaction is I get very annoyed at my wife because she wasn't watching him, wasn't looking out after him, didn't put the bottle on tight for whatever reason. I'm frustrated at her. Maybe I say a few things, not the nicest things, right? That's how I react. How's she going to react? Good or bad? Not bad, right? Bad, not good. Especially early in the morning, not good. Okay? So the rest of the day, what's going to happen to the rest of the day? My result for the rest of the day, not good, right? Can I really focus at work? Not good. Even when she comes home at night, she's a doctor, she comes home, I'm probably not looking forward to it, right? Not good. It's going to be awkward. Now let's look at another way. Event. The sun's supposed to shake. Instead of reacting badly, I could just smile and clean it up. Say, don't worry, it's not your fault, I'll take care of it. You can leave, right? You go to the hospital or whatever. Now all of a sudden, how does my wife react? Very good, right? And then what's the result I get? Good. Maybe a kiss. Kiss on the lips, right? Very happy. Same event, same thing. Can I change the event? I can't change the event. But what can we change? Our reaction. The same thing, a prospect doesn't show up. Right? Some people, that's an event. You can't control that if a prospect doesn't show up. Right? Prospect's just negative. Negative. Doesn't like network marketing. Says bad things about it. You can't control that. Or reactions like, I can't believe this business doesn't work. I can't believe it. You start complaining. That's the worst thing. Never criticize, complain, or condemn. Okay, one of my mentors told that. I never do that before the business. Never say anything bad. If you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything bad about it. Don't say anything at all. Right? So, never criticize, complain, or condemn. Okay, never criticize, complain, or condemn. So, prospect says no. If I say, oh, this business doesn't work, now it doesn't work for me, what's the result I'm going to get? Not good, I'm probably going to fail, I'll probably end up quitting. A different reaction could be, that's the nature of the business. Or, I don't need them, they need me. Forget it, I move on. But having that attitude allows you to keep going. So, it's all up here, right? So today I'm going to talk about things that you may have grown up with, a lot of things up in the mindset that's holding you back from the success. One thing is, what do you focus on? What do you focus on? You can focus on two things. Either positive solutions or problems. Okay, how many of you actually read my blog? Okay, some of you don't, you should subscribe to my blog. It's free, Simon W. Chan. I actually wrote about this a week ago, last week. Talks about people can only focus on two things. They either focus on problems, say this doesn't work, complaining, this problems, or they can figure out solutions. Be solution oriented. So, I'm not going to go into detail. I wrote a blog post about it. You can read about it. But successful people focus on solutions, because when you look at solutions, you find opportunity. When you look at problems, you end up becoming negative. You close your mind. You put on blinders. You can't see things. How many of you actually think you are solution-oriented? You're positive? Okay? Here's a test. This was actually a big test for me. Talk to your spouse, or your good best friend, or whatever, or your roommate, and ask them, what are the three things I talk about the most? Sort of three issues I talk about the most. And if you write them down, probably at least one of them, or two of them, are problems, not solutions. I found out, I thought I was the most positive person. I talk to my wife, I'm very tired all the time. But my kids are, they're not letting me sleep. Instead of thinking that I'm talking about a problem. I'm focusing on the wrong thing. I should focus on how can I get more energy? How can I get more sleep? Right? By the way, here's a tip. How many of you actually get tired sometimes? I'll give you a tip to get more energy. Want a tip? Yeah. I got this from Bill Clinton. Okay, if you want to be able to sleep less and have more energy, it's not to drink more energy drinks. Okay, the way to do it is you go to bed hungry. Go to bed starving, hungry. Yeah. No, you get used to it. Hungry, or maybe not growling stomach, but you're hungry. Okay. Because what takes up the most energy? Digestion. By the way, do you know which animals in animal kingdom sleep the most? Bears, tigers, lions. They're all meat eaters. Right? Do you know which animal sleeps the least? This is actually a good pub bet. Huh? Nope. Giraffe. Giraffe. Do you know how many? Yeah. Do you know how many hours of sleep? How much sleep a giraffe gets?
2.
Actually, that was funny. You know how I learned about this? When I was doing my sports business, I ended up bringing American players. I really hated this business. Okay? American players who weren't good enough to play in the NBA, bring them to China and Korea to play. And I was an agent like that, right? I hated that business because the players are all spoiled, and the U.S. is spoiled. They go to Korea, they live in dorms, they don't have good heat, they start complaining, they don't show up for practice. I get phone calls at 3 in the morning. Hey, Simon, this player's not showing up for practice. He's hurt. He's not really hurt. It's a nightmare. But throughout the whole experience, I learned about this giraffe. Okay, so I always hang out with a Korean player that's very, very famous. Very good player in Korea. And he's very good looking. He has tons of women, whatever. He likes to party, play, but he likes to drink. And they smoke, they drink. But he says, Simon, I'm always tired. I wish I could sleep like a giraffe. I said, what do you mean sleep like a giraffe? Because he has to practice every day. He says the average giraffe sleeps only 20-something minutes a day. Giraffe. Okay? The most sleep, 장진루. Okay, 장진루. Sleeps only at most. Okay. A giraffe sleeps only 2 minutes at a time. At most. I think the longest recorded ever, like in zoo, was like a little bit over 2 minutes. And they may take like 6 or 7 sleeps, and they add it up, it's like 20 minutes a day. And they're fine. Okay, they're fine. That's actually a good bet. You can challenge your friends. It's a little trivia. The guy says, well, Simon, I'll bet you $1,000. This is giraffe. Like, how can someone go with 2 minutes of sleep? But suppose you can hit REM, they'd be totally fine. But getting back to digestion, it takes tons of energy, right? So when you're sleeping, when you have food in your stomach, you're actually not, your mind is resting, but your body's not resting. Because the body's setting blood and breaking it up, okay? If you go to bed hungry, there's nothing in there, you actually get much better rest. Much better. So that's why you should eat early, too. Eat early. I've realized now that I have kids, I eat way early. I used to eat like 8:30, 9. Now I eat like 6 p.m. Here's the thing. When I'm hungry at night, I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. But I think you think positive. think solutions. I'm like, all right, great, I'm starving, my stomach's growling. That means tomorrow I have lots of energy. I sleep 6 hours, I feel like I sleep 8 hours. So you can test that. Bill Clinton did that. I learned it from Bill Clinton. Huh?
Think positive means you eat. We are hungry, you go eat.
No, for me, positive, I can sleep less and do more. Because for me, it's like the urgency. So one of the things about, talk about setting the routine. This is like a mindset, the routine. Why routine is important. It's like, you got to make all your phone calls during that 2 hours. So you set up a routine. That day, I got to get all my calls done. Because humans, we're fight or flight. We need deadlines. Okay, that's the way we work. Don't trust, I'm the most motivated person I can do. You're not. Don't cheat yourself. None of us are motivated. Okay? If you have a chocolate cake with ice cream or you want to eat spinach, you may eat cake with spinach, but after a while you are going to crave and eat that chocolate cake. We're humans. We can't hold that. So our bodies are built for fight or flight, meaning like back in the caveman days, right? Do you think the caveman will actually exercise and do all this stuff? Or he's just lying there relaxing, sleeping in his hammock, right? What do you think he was sleeping or he was actually exercising? Caveman. He's relaxing. Caveman's not doing it. He's just like us. No, there's a different form of relaxing. Now we relax in front of a TV. But back then they would just relax, whatever, sleep. Right? They're not working. The only time he actually has to work is when he's hungry. Or someone fights him, tries to steal his food. Right? He fights. He starts working. Our muscles our blood gets full going. Or when a tiger comes out, he's running. That's the only time he's motivated to work. Other times he's not motivated. Okay? So we're fight or flight. It's the same thing. How many of you have gone to school, secondary school, uni, right? You had to do an assignment, like write a paper, right? Normally, when does the professor give you, or the lecturer give you an assignment? How many weeks in advance? 8 weeks? 8 weeks or 4 weeks? 8 weeks, right? Do you ever try to, when do you normally do the paper? The night before? Right? 2 nights before? Or if you were like me, it was like the morning of. Like, hurry up, hurry up. So, now, once you do the night before, what do you say to yourself? This stinks, I'm so stressed, I'm never going to do this again. Never do this again. Right? And then the next paper comes, what happens? Same thing, right? Now, some of you actually, have you ever been motivated to say, hey, I'm going to do the paper early? Right? So you go there, sit in the computer or typewriter back then, you start to type or write, and then what happens? You sit in for 1 hour, you write one sentence. Right? One sentence. Because there's no fight. There's no fight, there's no flight. But the night before, it's like playing piano. 1 hour is all done. Right? And in the morning of, you're even quicker. Right? Why? Like, how come 6 weeks, 8 weeks ahead, we want to do it? We can't do anything. But the night before, we can get it done so quickly. Because our minds are conditioned with deadlines. We need deadlines. Okay? Without deadlines, we're not motivated. Our mind just doesn't work. So if you know that, what you do with a tip to being productive, learning these time saving is put yourself in situations where there's deadlines. 2 hour prospecting time, or 90 minutes. You've got to make all the calls during 90 minutes. I'm telling you, if you have that 90 minutes only, you don't have time to go look at Facebook, email, distracted. Right? I got to make 20 phone calls in the 90 minutes. You're calling. It also applies to phone calls. Set up an end time. For those who actually, when you talk to me, I know, hey, I got 20 minutes to talk. Let's go, right? 30 minutes. We try to get things done as quickly as possible. Without the end time, we start chit-chatting, and then time gets wasted. Okay? You need to create these deadlines. That's why deadlines, goals, accountability is extremely important, because we're fight or flight.
Can you explain the lizard brain?
Yeah, that's like basically the lizard brain, right? The lizard brain doesn't want to do anything. It's not motivated. It just wants to sleep and play. The only time he goes out there to work is to get food, or someone's trying to attack him, or a tiger's coming. So if you know that our lizard brain, we need to create these, deadlines, artificial deadlines. Like for me, we start talking about this because for me, I have tons of things I need to do every day, and once I drop off my son to school, the clock is ticking. I got to get everything done. I got to work out. I got to do this. Got to read before 5:30. That's when I pick him up. And once I do 5:30, then there's no time. I want to spend time with him. So it's like the clock is ticking. I got to hurry. Go. I'm always looking at the clock. Oh gosh, just 4 more hours before I go. I got to do this. Got to do that. I got to make these phone calls. Right? If I didn't have that urgency, I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't be. So it's creating that urgency, the deadline. Easy way to do it is to plan every, now, it could be stressful a bit, but you won't get things done, right? You plan your day. I plan when I'm going to make my phone. Every phone call is planned. I don't take incoming calls, right? You shouldn't take incoming calls. It's an interruption. Plan. I mean, of course, you got to talk to your leaders, your team. Schedule those phone calls. Whatever you do, schedule them. If you're going to go exercise, schedule it. Okay? Schedule when you're going to eat. When you're going to eat lunch. Especially if you're full time, lunch is actually very easy to push it off and then it's actually not good for you. Like if you don't eat when you're supposed to eat. So schedule the time. Stick to it. It makes it much easier. Okay? It's like going back to people who exercise. You need that routine. Without the routine, without the schedule, it's very easy to go off track. So we talk about productivity, go to bed hungry. Again, Bill Clinton lost a lot of weight. If you looked at me, you probably don't. He did that. He stopped becoming a vegetarian. He also started eating, he go to bed hungry. That's where he got it from. And there's another politician in the U.S., Reverend Jesse Jackson, used to be 250 pounds. Now very skinny. So what do you focus on, right? Problems or solutions? You may think that you focus on solutions, but just think about what you talk about. Like I shared with, I was talking about lack of energy, not getting enough sleep. So I thought I was actually positive, but I was actually being negative to my wife. So, oh, the kids, I can't believe it. That's, again, problems. Okay? Because what you talk about is a reflection of what happens here. Right? So I'm talking to my wife, oh, I'm not getting enough rest because of the kids. Up here, I'm focusing on problems. I should be focusing on solutions instead. So the only person that can stop you is you, right? It's yourself. That's the only person that can stop you. So 90% of the business is mental. So talk about perspective. A lot of things in terms of being successful, learn to see things from the right angle, perspective. How many of you actually play chess? Or play chess, right? So if you play chess, if you're playing against someone, next time try to get up and look at the same game from another perspective, on the other side. The game will look totally different. Okay? You may actually see the moves. If you play computer chess or any game, just flip the board, right? It looks very, very different. So I'm going to share, if we can dim the lights again, share something with you. So when we're talking about programming mindset, it's really about, imagine I was wearing, and these are things I'm going to uncover today, wearing blue sunglasses. If I was wearing blue sunglasses, right, like Carol, your blouse, right, would be blue. Annette, you'd be wearing a blue jacket. Mario, you'd be wearing a blue shirt, right? This wall, you'd be kind of blue. Now, you may say, Simon, you're not, come on, that's white, right? But I'll say, no, it's blue. No, you're white. No, it's blue. Because as long as I'm wearing these blue sunglasses, what's the wall? What's this wall going to be? Blue, right? You can say, you can try to convince me, get me to read books, whatever, but as long as I keep those sunglasses on, it's going to be blue. And that is what holds you back in a lot of the opportunities in this business. It's like you're wearing, every one of us here are wearing some type of sunglasses that's preventing us from seeing things in the right perspective. Okay? And your sunglasses could be the way you're raised, the way you're brought up, your conditioning, what you hear other people talk about. Okay? It's distorting you from the reality. So we're going to look at this thing here. Talk about chess, right? This is what? This is like a chessboard. This is white. This is what? Gray or black?
Brown.
Brown. Okay. Now we're not talking about what it's supposed to look like. Okay. What it does appear. Okay. So right now you're saying it appears brown, right? This is white. Okay. Okay. So brown. This is white.
Brown.
Okay.
White. Brown.
Okay. All right. With A, right? With A, brown with A, white with B. So what have I told you? That A is brown, right?
Yeah.
B is white. A and B are the same color.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
The letters are.
You think they're the same color?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Well, you just said they're brown and this is white.
The letters are white, the brown.
No, not the letters. I'm talking about this. I'm talking about this part.
Different shades.
They're the same color.
The shades of the same color.
Now A and B, they're black, right? But this and this is the same color.
Oh.
They're the same color.
Wow.
But because of the whole chessboard and this thing blocking here, again, the filter, you're wearing sunglasses, that's distorting your reality. So even though they're the same color, your mind's playing tricks on you. Because the way you're conditioned and programmed, you automatically assume because it's chess, right? Black, white, brown, white, or brown, brown, white, brown, white, that they're different, but they're the same. Hey, so if you don't look at anything, actually, if we removed everything here, just put these two, you see it very easily. Okay, yeah, these are tricks. This programming thing that's tricking your mind, not letting you see things. So our mind fools you, right? So here, what are these lines? Are they crooked? What are these lines here? They look crooked, right? Crooked lines? They're straight lines. They're straight lines. Okay? Because we add a few things here, it could be, right? It makes it look crooked, but straight. Illusions. So that's what I'm talking about. So you can turn on the lights, thank you. Those are like just optical illusions, mind tricking us. Today we're going to talk about other things in your mind that actually makes you see wealth and money the wrong way. Okay? So it's affecting, and the first thing we're going to talk about is how it affects you. How many of you actually have problem closing prospects? Okay? This would be a big opener for you. So our beliefs, philosophies, and programmings are sabotaging your success. We go over 10 beliefs that are holding you back. 10 programming beliefs. And before I start, I would apologize for everyone because some of you, by the way, I'm not to preach religion, I'm a Christian, but I'm going to share some of the things that will go against the way you're raised, the way you're brought up. You may disagree, or you may agree. In every city I've done this, at least one or two people have cried. Okay? Some people are more vivid, obvious. Some people not. I can see that there's tears and they're coming up. So I'm not talking about money. We're going to talk about money today. Money is not that doesn't give you happiness. Okay? I would say money is a multiplier. If you're a good person, money will make you a better person. If you're a bad person, money will make you a more evil person. So money itself doesn't make you not good or bad. It's neutral. It's all about your values. If you have good values, having more money will make you a better person. You can give more, you can inspire more people. And like money is not the, if you don't have money, it doesn't mean that you're not a good person, not a successful person. We're just talking about business. And how many of you are actually doing this business to make money? Right? We're here to make money. So how do you judge whether you are successful in business or not? By making money, right? That's how you keep score. So we're here just to talk about money. We're not talking about how good a person, if someone's not a good person. It's basically how successful you want to be successful in business. And that's by money. Okay, so the whole point is talk about your beliefs about money that's sabotaging your business. So what's this? Secret. What's the secret? How many of you watched The Secret? Okay, what's the secret about? Law of attraction, right? It's like the more, if I think positive, I'll get positive. Okay, so it's also called like metaphysics. Metaphysics. So the secret, it's good, you got to think positive, but it's also a lot of BS because it gives false hope to a lot of people. Oh, I just think positive, I'm a good person, I have a lot of abundance, money. That's only half of it. The other half is actually take action and do something. Okay, if you sit at your hammock bed and let's just be positive all day, money's not coming in. If I just think about checks, not bills, checks are not just going to come in. You got to do the work. So this is called, you ever heard of metaphysics? Metaphysics? So I actually failed, actually dropped out of metaphysics in college, university, because when I took my first midterm, I failed the midterm. Okay, I failed the midterm and had to drop a class. And the reason I failed the midterm was because I got caught cheating. I was sitting there taking the exam, and I was staring at the person in front of me, and I got caught cheating. You guys got that? You guys didn't get it?
You're taking the thoughts out of their head, what were you doing?
Yeah, I was staring at him, and I got caught cheating. It's a joke. You guys don't get it, right? You get it? The law of attraction, secret, you're supposed to deposit, have a fear of bribes.
So actually, you failed because you did that assignment in the morning of.
Okay, so a lot of people say, like, metaphysics, you have vibrations, computer energy, right? Technically, if that's really true, my exam, I just sit there, I just stare at Rocky, and I could I could get all the answers, right?
We're a bit slow.
Let's go. It's early in the morning today, right? It's early in the morning. So thoughts are important, but you need action, okay? So the first thing that's limiting belief that's killing you is the zero-sum game. How many of you actually heard of this term, zero-sum game? Okay? One person, good. So zero-sum game means just say you have a pie. And the pie is only so big. Meaning that, just say we have these, okay, the pie is this much. If these are supposed to be equal, right? But this is Karen's pie, this is Simon's pie. If Simon gets a bigger pie, then someone's going to get a smaller piece. Right? That's a zero-sum game. But what people fail to realize, okay, I'll give you an example. Hey, we're talking about basketball. So there was a basketball fan, a couple of basketball fans, right? I'll give you an example of zero-sum. Why I wanted to get out of sports. I hated it. The NBA, any NBA fans here again? Basketball fans? No one.
Well, yeah.
One. How many teams? Do you know how many teams on the NBA? Okay, so 30 teams in the NBA. Okay, anyone know how many players on the team?
They have 12. That's 10.
Sure. Okay, 12 active roster and 3 on the bench. Injured reserve. So it's 15 players on the team. Okay? By the way, most people only know 6 or 7 players. 6 or 7, by the way, that's the NBA. The average NBA career is only 3 years. Okay, there's a lot of churning. So how many total players in the whole NBA? 450. Okay, that means if my friend who's a really good guy, he wants to get a job and get into the NBA and play, some other player must lose a job. Okay, because there's only a certain amount of spots. Someone has to get cut. It can't be 451 players because the teams are not increasing. Okay, and for contract reasons, they can't get more than 15 players. That's a zero-sum game. And that's why it's a very cutthroat business, the sports agency business. Same thing with the movie industry, too. There's only a certain amount of actors for a certain amount of roles. If someone wants to get a job, someone has to lose. Now, in real world, though, it's not a zero-sum game. What happens is this pie doesn't stay the same size. Okay, the real world is not like this. The real world, the pie, what happens to the pie? It gets bigger. So even though Simon gets a bigger piece, Karen still can get a bigger piece, because the pie is getting bigger. Okay? In other words, there's more and more money out there. Are there more, for example, the restaurant business, are there more restaurants? Yeah. Right? It's just the fact that, is the economy growing? There's more and more money out there, right? Every year there's new restaurants, new people are born, there's new university grads, people have new jobs, right? So there's tons of money out there. Money is replaceable. Okay, money is replaceable. And this affects how you close. So what do I mean by that? You're not going to close hard because you feel that if I sign up, and how many of you actually have had a prospect before, but you felt that maybe they don't have that much money, they shouldn't, they can't afford the products, or can't afford a business, right? You're automatically assuming that they're not going to have more money. That if you take away the money, they can't get the money back. So it's a limiting belief. The fact is, if you don't take the money, somewhere else is going to take the money. How many of you actually, suppose, raise your hands, your friends, right? You have a friend, they spend money on things they shouldn't be spending on.
Yeah.
Right? Like maybe a new phone or whatever, TV, whatever. So if you don't take the money, someone else is going to take the money. But they have tons of money out there. They will get the money. So you can't think that, oh, they don't have much money, I shouldn't get them started in the business. Or they can't pay their rent. Because if, again, number one, there's tons of money out there. Number two, if you don't take the money, someone else is going to take the money. And as long as by the way, let me just ask this question first. How many of you believe your products and business help someone's life become better? You 100% believe that. If you 100% believe that, you got to take their money. Because if you don't take their money, they're going to give the money to someone else. Right? They're going to spend the money on their new phone, shopping, things that they shouldn't be spending on junk food. Right? So if you can't close well, your belief is that, hey, this person, it's a zero-sum game. I take the money, they get a smaller piece of the pie. But you're automatically assuming the money's not replaceable. They can't get the money back. Okay? It's your limiting belief. There's tons of money out there. There's tons of money. And what are some things that people spend money on? Food. Cigarettes. Right? Clothes. Handbags, right? Aina, what's some of the things that your friends spend money on? The bags. So if you don't take their money, they're going to spend the money. There's tons of money out there. Right?
Children's school fees is a lot of money.
Yeah, but they'll come up with money, right? And they come up with the money. The schools will take the money. They will come up with the money.
Is that different though, that if they don't have the money to start with? Is that a different thought or is it still the same?
But they can get the money. They can put it on the credit card, right? People can. By the way, putting money on the business on a credit card, that actually should be the right move, because when you start any business, and this was a big mental belief, right? So if you buy a house or start a traditional business, do I use my own money or use the bank's money? Bank's money. So putting in the credit card is the same as your bank's money. You never use your cash, your money. And do you believe this business can help someone become successful? Right? You believe that. So if someone's even in credit card debt, say they're $20,000 in debt, what's another $800 in debt? Right? It's like a drop in the bucket. But at least this gets them a chance to become successful. So if you're new, some people are new distributors, some people feel like, oh, I'm not successful yet. Right? By becoming a distributor, you are a success already, because you are going in the right direction. At least you're moving. Going in the wrong, it's General Schwarzkopf, the late General Schwarzkopf went to Iraq for the war. He said, if you go in the wrong direction, it's better than it's better than not getting started. Why? Why is it going the wrong direction better than not starting? Unless you're moving, right? But if something's moving, it's very easy to change direction, right? Very easy to change direction. But if someone's not moving, it's like exercising again. If you exercise, the first 5 minutes is hard. But once you get moving, it gets easier. How many guys actually move furniture in the past, right? If you move furniture, once you start pushing it, you get it going, it's very easy to turn direction. But you got to get it moving. A car. When a car, at what time does it use the most petrol? When you start the engine, right? It's hard. But once you get it started, you can maneuver it. It uses a lot less energy. So just the fact that you're a distributor, you're a success rate, because you're going in a direction, right? Your friends are in credit card debt, they can't afford to put on a credit card. At least they have a chance to earn it. By the way, and if you feel that bad, that goes to your belief. Do you really believe the business works? If you really believe the business works, your friends they'll easily make the money and be able to pay it off. So it's your mental issue with money, right? So this lack of money has nothing to do with you. Their lack of money has nothing to do with you. It could be their own situation. You get the money, they'll find a way to replace that money. It will be replaced. Just like they buy those handbags, they buy that stuff, they find a way to come up with the money back. Is that true? Okay, they shouldn't be spending it. They spend it, but it'll be replaced. You automatically assume I sign them up, the money will be replaced. And also, what right do you really believe the business works, right? So what right do you say that if you say, oh, I shouldn't sign them up, you're automatically assuming they will fail, right? So they put it on credit card debt. Put another $800 on credit card. If you think that that's the wrong thing to do, that's because you don't believe that it can be successful. And what right do you have to judge that it can't be successful?
But are you judging on them not being successful or more that you don't know if you're good enough to support them?
Okay, so good to support them, okay?
To teach them or whatever, yeah.
If they are going to be successful, they will figure a way out to be successful. Okay? Does your upline support you? But you made it, right? How many of you have an upline that really support them? Right? My original upline quit, but you're here, so you're automatically assuming that person can be like you, right? So that's your belief up here. So when we provide the business, it's like the government gives free education to a certain level, right? Some just kids, they study hard to get good jobs. Some drop out and become gangsters. Some drop out, work in a petrol station. But is this the government's fault? No, they provide education. We provide an opportunity. What they do with it has nothing to do with you. Now, even if you don't, of course, we should train them, work with them. But we don't talk about that. But even if you never train them, they should still be grateful to you because you introduced them to the opportunity.
Simon, just to clarify this, because yesterday, and I really appreciate the honesty here, it's not for everybody. The business isn't for everybody. You're lazy or you have no desire. So in that case, it may not be about money. It might be about, are you going to do anything? But it is wasting money.
Yeah, but when I said that was more of a marketing thing, right? You push people away when I said that. The more you're lazy, you're not willing to work, we don't want you. You push them away, then what do most people say? Hey, I want to prove it to you. I'm not lazy. I'm willing to work. Or actually may wake someone up that I've been lazy my whole life. This is the time I'm going to change my life. Let me prove that. Let me do this. So that's like a marketing thing. But you don't have a right to judge whether someone's lazy. You never know. Like my emerald, John, he was like a happy hour 6 nights a week. I never thought he would be good. And they become good.
I just want to work this through mentally. So you're prospecting John, you're presenting to John thinking, actually, probably not any point, but I do it anyway because that's my business. I have to share this with everybody.
No, I presented to them, hey, this thing can wake him up and change his life. It may be the thing that wakes him up. It's not my right to judge that, hey, he's going to be a lazy bum for the rest of his life, right? It may wake him up, and which it did. So you can't be judging the product. We shouldn't be judging prospects. We give them an opportunity. We create an environment, and they make the most out of it. And even if you don't have the right training, whatever, like my original upline quit. Then I found another mentor. But some of you didn't have upline support. You figure it out. How do you know the prospect cannot be another you? That you're automatically judging someone, and we have no right to judge. Our only responsibility in business is what? You know what a business owner's responsibility is? I'm going to talk about this like 10 times. Is to maximize profits. But doing it ethical and with integrity. To maximize profits. That's the only thing that matters. It's not being a nice person. It's not being a good person. It's about maximizing profits. Now, of course, you want to be a good person. You want to be a good person. You want to be a nice person because does that help you maximize profits? Yes. Right? Training your team. Helping people. Does it help you maximize profits? Yes, that's why we do it. And as I said, before, we're not here to talk about how to be a better person. We're here to make money. So our goal is to maximize profits and not to judge people. And of course, the training, the team, helping people, being a giver, that's all important because that helps maximizing profits.
So I can just ask you a question. When people first join, they're right on the top of the mountain because they're really excited. Some of what we can be saying, what you're suggesting actually being said right at the beginning, can actually bring them down from that mountain. And sometimes we have to do a whole lot of things just to keep them up there.
So what specifically mean? Do you bring them down on a mountain?
You're bringing them down on the mountain. You're talking about the challenges of what is in the industry, some of the things. And some of those things they don't really need to know at the beginning. They will discover some of that a little bit later on. So it's a question of how sort of upfront are you with all of these things?
So the stuff I'm sharing right now.
Yes.
Oh, this stuff is just for, motivate distributors, right? Like, that's why, like I said, we have the kind of the pyramid. We start off the health and freedom. We started yesterday. Now we have the really serious ones. We're taking a full day to come here. The stuff I'm here sharing, I want to share with new distributor. New distributor, I'm just sharing how to build your list, SOW, and make it goals, and how to invite. That's it.
Well, we actually, part of this whole thing was to actually get new distributors in that came into the health and freedom to this event, to sponsoring, duplicating, and to this
Yeah.
event. This is some of it. I'm just kind of trying to work this out myself here. Some of it, it's just like stuff that they don't need to know right at the very beginning.
Well, the way I see it is, right, I speak to the ones who really want it. Right? If you're here today, you paid $125, you really want it. Right? Yeah. So I'm just talking to those people who really want it. If they're going to quit, then they're not the person shouldn't be here. But if he can't handle the truth, then they're never going to be successful anyway. Because sooner or later, it's better to know at the beginning than to later on. Like I learned this stuff later on when I was stuck, being a silver, and I was like so frustrated, right? This being the reality of what the business is. So now, when I do a new distributor training, I don't share this type of stuff. Right? But people, you guys invest in good money. These are things that you need to know. And everyone who's successful, they need to be able to take this. If they can't take this, how can they take the abuse or the rejection from the prospects? Right? That hurts way more than this. Right? So you all agree there's no shortage of money. Tons of money out there. Tons. So I'll give you an example. Anyone know what this is? Yep. Anyone know what it's called? Well, it's by Nokia, right? It's actually by a company called Virtu. Okay? Do you know how much this phone cost? Over 10,000 US. 10,000 US. Gold plated. It's not even a smartphone. Okay? It's very heavy. He wished, right? Very heavy. It's big. It's big because if you have a 10,000 phone, you want people to see it. You don't want to be hiding it, right? People buy this. Does very well. Okay, it's a very big seller. So everyone has a weakness in spending money on something. Everyone has a weakness. All your friends that have no money, they have a weakness. They spend money on handbags, clothes. How many of you actually have a weakness buying things? Right? Women buy clothes, or you buy shoes, running shoes. Guys buy gadgets. We buy stuff. Toys. I buy Legos now.
We call it toys.
Oh, toys. I literally buy toys now. I literally buy Lego toys. I just spent like $150 on Lego Duplos. We buy toys, right? Gadgets, toys. We buy tons of things. So if you don't take their money, someone else will take the money. They'll spend the money on something else. And they might as well spend it on your business, because your business or your products can help change their lives.
Because people like to buy.
People love to buy things, right? They love to buy things. So this is the we talked about the big global recession affected everything, especially started U.S. 2008. Some people still say is going on right now. And so by the way, you don't never trust the media, because the media says the real estate market's going up now in the U.S. Okay, but the reason it's going up is because the rich houses are really more expensive, but all the middle class, like I said, the middle class is getting squeezed. But the middle class, their houses are still very low, haven't recovered. So like in this neighborhood, this Chinese neighborhood in LA, you can't buy a house unless you put 75% down, cash. Okay? Because you have people there buying houses with 75%. I mean, if you're a seller, you're not going to accept an offer with 25%, because people with 75% go buy houses. So there's tons of money out there, and that's why the housing market is going up. Restaurants, the expensive restaurants, they all do very well. That's probably the same in Australia, right? They're doing well. The restaurants that the poor go to, do they do well? Like McDonald's, fast food, they do very well. But the middle class restaurants, maybe not too good. In the U.S., actually, the middle class restaurants like Applebee's, Olive Garden, they're really in trouble. TG Fridays, starting to go out of business. Even the department stores, high-end Nordstrom, do very well. Saks, really well. Low-end Walmart, Target, do well. The middle, Sears, JCPenney, all going out of business. Okay, you're getting squeezed. So, but there's tons of money out there. And even during the biggest global recession, when no one had money, the iPad, iPad beat the record for the sales of any product in the first year it came out. Okay, the first year. This is the sales from April 2001, 2010 to March. In 1 year, they sold 19 million units.
Is that because they're selling more globally? Is that not just in the US?
Well, they launched it in US, right? Apple always launches in US first. They launch it to make sure how well it does before they slowly trickle to other markets. Okay? But most of the majority sales is from the US. Okay? Worst recession, people line up, they order online. By the way, this beat all product. Any product is the biggest of sales of one product in the history of mankind, more than Coca-Cola or anything. No product ever sold 19 million units in the first year in the existence. Okay, during the biggest global recession. Right, stock houses, the stock price has gone down, houses gone down. There's people who, are on welfare, Centrelink, they buy iPads, right? People buy it. People will buy stuff like that. How many of you actually know friends who don't have much money, but they have to buy a nice handphone, smartphone, right? Mobile phone. They buy iPads. So they will spend money. If you don't take the money, someone else will take the money.
The big screen TV.
Big screen TVs, right? They don't have money.
House and they don't have money, but they've got the big screen.
Yeah. They have two. And then have another one in the bedroom. And then have one in for the kids. And you know why the kids don't do well in school? Poor people have big TVs. Rich people have big libraries. Okay? Poor people have big TVs, rich people have big libraries. And the rich people may have some big TVs too, but they're not watching them. It's all a show. Do you think like Oprah's sitting at home watching TV all day? Or Donna, Richard Branson's watching TV, right? They're big TV. Poor people have big TVs. Rich people have big libraries. So I have a friend, his brother has a $2,000 cue stick for shooting pool billiards. $2,000 cue stick. Okay? It's made of like certain type of wood, maple ash, shaved, handcrafted. He's poor and broke. His car's may not even worth $2,000. He's driving a 10-year-old third-hand car. Okay? But he's got a $2,000 cue stick that he carries with him. Okay? You know people like that? They have no wealth, but expensive gadgets, expensive little doodads. Right? Rich Dad Poor Dad, Kiyosaki talks about them, doodads. So your mental issue is that money's not replaceable. Money's very replaceable. There's tons of money out there. If money was replaceable, you would close a lot more prospects. You would close a lot more people. By the way, we talk about like people on Centrelink. Do they have cable TV?
Yes.
They have cable TV. Should they be saving the money, spending on something else?
Yes.
Right? Well, they buy. But let's take a step back. It's also not our right to judge whether they should buy a TV. Because how do you know? Because maybe the Centrelink guy, he's up at late night at 3 a.m. watching infomercials. Because he doesn't work, right? So he can stay up at 3 a.m. watching TV. And he sees some late night Amway infomercial. And he gets inspired and joins network marketing and becomes successful. Right? My business partner, Scott, when he joined, he had no money. He put on his girlfriend's credit card. Okay, that was one of the things that ended the relationship, right? But if we didn't get him signed up, he wouldn't be where he is today. He wouldn't be working with me. This is also I know this internet marketer. He went to the first convention. He was like an internet marketing convention. It was like $3,000 to go. $2,000, $3,000 with expenses, airfare. And he had to put on 5 different credit cards. But you have to get to the limit, and, so you have to take 5 different credit cards to put in there. He basically spent his last dollar to go to the seminar. And even during the seminar, he was, he and his wife were basically upstairs in a hotel room eating peanut butter sandwiches because he couldn't afford to eat, right? But because of that, he made millions later on. All right, so by the way, we don't have a right to judge whether someone should buy TV. It could be the TV that, late night infomercial that changes them, right? You never know. Our only responsibility is to what? Maximize profits and do it with integrity. Okay, that's the only thing we should be thinking about. Not thinking about how people should be spending the money, because people will spend the money. And it could be one thing they spend, or they're spending the night at the pub, and they meet someone who's successful and totally changes them.
Simon, this one slide, money was
Well, if money was replaceable, you would close everyone, right? You would close almost everyone, because you're afraid that people don't have money, they can't buy the products. If they had all the money in the world, if you even take the money, they could find an easy way to replace it. You would close a lot more people.
And you're saying money is replaceable?
Money is replaceable because people buy the big screen. I mean, the poor people, you say, they can barely feed their kids, or their kids are eating garbage, right? They have tons of credit cards. They will still buy the big TV, but they'll find a way to get the money back to still keep living. It's not like they buy the big TV, they die, right? They have no money. They buy the big TV, they have the money, they'll still live on, they'll still carry on. Because the money's out there. They'll find a way to come up with the money. But our fear is like, we feel bad, we shouldn't take their money. Money's replaceable. Like I said, the people who sell the TV, they'll take the money if you don't take the money. So you must believe that money cannot be replaced and it's hard to get. Okay, there's tons of money out there. Tons.